at 888-545-9282.
8:37, we're back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Very pleased to welcome back one of my favorite in-studio guests. He is a keynote speaker, an author, and a mentor, and maybe you were one of the people who read his previous book called The Problem Was Me. Really opened up eyes of a lot of people on a lot of different topics, and he's back with a brand new book. So let me welcome back to the WCTC studios, real good guy and a good friend, Mr. Tom Gagliano, who is here. Tom, good morning. Welcome back.
Thanks, Bert. Nice to be here.
Wonderful to see you again,
Yes.
and congratulations on the new book. I love the title, and the title is Don't Put Your Crap in Your Kid's Diaper. Now, obviously, we're not talking literally about this, but talk about what you hope to accomplish with your new book.
I want to bring some awareness to parents. I want parents to take a peek and recognize which areas of their parenting skills are strong and which areas might need a little bit of attention. How do we show up with our kids? How do we really show up with our kids? What core beliefs are we putting into our kids that can hurt them? I'm sure we all have strengths, but if we could tweak our weaknesses and really give our children the very best of what we have, there's a better shot we're going to create a child that has integrity, confidence, and can face the world in a productive way.
Yeah, and no parent is perfect, Tom. We know that. Every parent needs help when it comes to parenting. When you become a parent, there's no book. They don't hand you a Parenting 101 handbook. It doesn't exist. And you know what? Not all parents are great. Not all parents are perfect. But you know what? Sometimes it's with the right advice and the right information that you can raise a really, really great kid who could become a great adult. And that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. And you know what? Parenting is the most difficult task I've ever done. I've slipped. I've made mistakes. We all do. But what I did with this book is I followed parents that really had what I wanted. And, I have a master's degree, I have the book learning and all of that stuff, but here's people that really were able to create children that grew up to face the world in a very strong way. But I'll tell you, Bert, one of the most important ways you need to do this is you need to work on yourself, because at the end of the day, the most important relationship we have, it's not the one with our kids, it's not the one with our spouse, it's the one with ourselves. If we're good with who we are, we're going to show up in a very healthy way for our kids.
I guess it starts with self-worth. You as a parent have to feel like you've got values and what you're doing is correct and convey that to your kids. But when you're taking stock of what you have, if there's something that you can do better, you need to make that change.
You have to. It's hard to give my children what I don't have inside. If I don't have self-esteem, if I have an inner critic that's always beating me down, telling me what I'm doing wrong, I better be mindful of that, because how much I love my kids is not going to make a difference. I'm going to put that in their diaper.
Yeah. Now, talk about how this book differs from The Problem Was Me, which was a book you wrote a couple years ago, which was fantastic, by the way.
Thank
An
you.
excellent read. Talk about the differences between the two stories here.
The Problem Was Me was my life story and the story of other men and women that had to silence their negative self-talk. I believe that childhood messages, it will impact the intimacy we have or don't have, our parenting skills, the careers we choose, even the roles we play. How many of your listeners today are playing the role of the people pleaser, where they say yes most of the time because it's too painful to say no? Where do you think that voice comes from? It comes from childhood message that said, I can't say no to mom or dad, I'm a bad kid. And you carry that throughout your life. So The Problem Was Me was more about silencing that negative self-talk, because if we developed if we received bad childhood messages, we're going to develop negative core beliefs, sense of self, a negative sense of self. And if we do that, eventually we'll act that out. We'll act that out with bullying, with addiction, with domestic violence. We may act it in with depression, isolation, or other ways. So those negative core beliefs are formed very early, and if they're not talked about and processed, they'll be acted out. So my book, The Problem Was Me, is the way to silence those negative thoughts, those negative voices, and really be the person you want to be, not the person you were set up to be. This book deals more with parents, how parents can set up an environment for their children, a safe environment. And Bert, the most important thing is every parent has to be responsible in creating a place at home where their children can talk to them, where the children could share their feelings, maybe their sexual orientation, maybe their curiosity with drugs. Because bottom line is, if a child doesn't have someone safe to share their feelings and struggles with, they'll develop negative core beliefs. They'll tell themselves, if I can't go to mom and dad with these things, something's wrong with me. Who else can I go to? And the worst thing, Bert, is they'll solicit advice from the wrong people. And
Yeah.
that's not what you
You
want.
don't want that, of
No, you
course.
don't.
Of course. Tom Gagliano is our guest this morning, keynote speaker, author, and mentor. Brand new book called Don't Put Your Crap in Your Kid's Diaper. It's a funny title, but it deals with some serious topics. And the subtitle, The Cleanup Cost Can Last a Lifetime. And boy, is that true as well. Talk about some specific things. How about, Tom, nowadays, parents didn't grow up with the technology that their kids are growing up with now. Talk about the negative role that smartphones and Facebook and Twitter and the internet play in kids today. It
Well,
can be a negative impact.
yeah, and look, they're very powerful. We're all possessed by by technology, but one of the things that technology does is it takes away interpersonal relationships, conversations. We have kids now today in seventh grade going home and viewing pornography. By the time these
Wow.
kids are in high school, they've completely objectified people to the point where they will never know. Well, they don't know what intimacy is. They don't know what it's like to hold hands, to hug, to talk, to converse. Everything is hooking up, and if parents aren't nosy with their kids, that's what I talk about in my book too. You need to be nosy with your kids. Know who their friends are, know who they hang out with, know what sites they're on, filter those computers.
Yeah.
They may look at you like you're a pain in the neck if you do that, but someday they're going to look back and say, you know what? My mom and dad cared. That's why they did it. They may not have the maturity today to do that,
Right.
but someday they'll get that message.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Who are your kids chatting with online? Who are
You,
they?
you
When
better
they're
know
when
that,
they're upstairs in the computer with the door closed, you got to know who's on the other end of that computer.
or you're going to pay the price later.
It's
That's
very
right.
true. Very true. We'll talk more about the book, Tom. But where can someone purchase a copy if they wanted to buy your new book?
They could go to my website, theproblemwasme.com, or my name, thomasgagliano.com, or they could go on Amazon and they could purchase the book there.
Very good. We'll talk more with Tom Gagliano coming up in just a few moments. And questions or comments for him, 732-545-9282 or 888-545-9282. Jersey Central traffic and weather time. It is now 8:45. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the fives on Jersey Central. Of course, we want to get you the very latest with regards to the weather and Hurricane Joaquin. Who knows what it's got in store for us for the weekend, and we'll get your weather in just a moment. But roads right now and the traffic update from Bernie Viter.
Good morning, Birds. Not good right now in a bunch of spots. First of all, if you are traveling on Route 1, everything is subject to closure. We've got an accident involving a fuel spill. It's been there for a while on Route 1 southbound between Adams Lane and Aaron Road. So traffic is stopped back from Livingston Avenue, Route 1 on the southbound side. Also very slow northbound. You're basically busy in pockets from Woodbridge Ave, heading past Old Post Road. Route 9 northbound slows in spots from Old Bridge Matawan Road into the Garden State Parkway. Northbound Parkway by the Colonia Rest area, it's busy. Southbound to the Raritan tolls. If you're heading for Route 18 northbound, bumper to bumper, Old Bridge Turnpike to Route 1. And on 287 northbound, exit 1 to 3. And then from exit 9 to 12 will be heavy. Over in Franklin Township, Metlers Road closed down by Amwell Road because of some fallen power cables. For more, check out the Central Jersey traffic map at WCTCAM.com. I'm Bernie Viter with the 1450 WCTC traffic update.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Frank Lombardo in the Weather Center. A cooler day coming up across central Jersey and a cool northeast breeze that'll keep temperatures mostly in the 50s and 60s right through Saturday. Only a couple of light showers or sprinkles in the forecast today. The bulk of the day will be dry. Any rains from Hurricane Joaquin and this weather system that we're in right now stay well to our south today. Temperatures, though, don't get out of the upper 50s or low 60s for the high. Tonight, we'll drop back to 50 to 55, a couple of showers around. Tomorrow, more scattered showers, especially late in the day on Friday. And these may continue tomorrow night, and there is a chance of a period of heavier rain tomorrow night. Highs tomorrow around 55 to 60. The low at night back in the low to mid 50s. Saturday, more scattered showers, the high around 60. Sunday, still, literally up in the air. Partly sunny with a chance of a hurricane because we've got both options and both possibilities for central Jersey. Right now, it looks like probably a lot of clouds, windy with a chance of a couple of showers, but the big storm most likely out to sea. Right now, 56 degrees. I'm meteorologist Frank Lombardo.
Tired of the same old at your gym? It's time to turn things up at Retro Fitness in North Brunswick. No other gym offers the high energy atmosphere or personal attention that you'll experience at Retro Fitness. There's no waiting to use equipment. There's always an experienced staff member on site to answer your questions. At Retro Fitness, it's all about your workout. Retro Fitness offers results-getting classes like Zumba, spinning, yoga, boot camp, high interval training, and much more. On-site child sitting is also available. Like to watch a movie while working out? The spacious Retro Theater is perfect. And be sure to rehydrate with a stop at the Retro Fitness Juice Bar. Face it, Retro Fitness is where your low monthly dues get you the most value anywhere. Enroll this month at Retro Fitness and pay just $9.99 enrollment and $9.99 processing and get your first month free. Treat yourself with over 50% savings. See club for details. Plus, join or refer a friend who joins and receive a Starbucks gift card. Retro Fitness, North Center Drive in North Brunswick, and also in Hillsborough and Manville.
Uh-oh, you're owed money, and your customer files bankruptcy.
Get my money.
WCTC's listeners are industrious and creative business people, creating jobs and paying lots of taxes. But even the best entrepreneurs are often left holding an empty bag when it's time to get paid. Customers file bankruptcy, and your collection efforts are then stopped cold. Some customers go out of business or just don't pay their bills.
Get me my money.
Attorney Mark Silber represents creditors and diligently searches to find ways to collect your money, even when your customer files bankruptcy. If someone owing you money has filed bankruptcy, contact attorney Mark Silber at 10 Station Place, Metuchen. Get Silber into the bankruptcy. Your call is free. You have no obligation. Call attorney Mark Silber, 732-494-0400. Again, attorney Mark Silber, 732-494-0400. This is another Health Minute brought to you by St. Peter's Healthcare System.
There's a powerful weapon in the battle against lung cancer. It's a low-cost, low-dose CT scan that detects lung cancer at its earliest, most curable stages. New research has shown that this breakthrough, minimally invasive technology is helping to save lives. And St. Peter's University Hospital is the first hospital in Middlesex County to have it. St. Peter's is using this new technology to screen high-risk patients as part of its Healthy Lung Screening Program. If you're between ages 55 and 74 and have smoked a pack a day for the last 30 years or 2 packs a day for the last 15, you could be at risk for lung disease. Quoting Dr. Douglas Frenia, head of the Healthy Lung Screening Program, making the diagnosis at an early stage allows for a greater variety of treatment options and an improved chance for a cure. For more details on the Healthy Lung Screening Program at St. Peter's University Hospital, call our patient navigator at 732-339-7747.
Speak up and be heard on Jersey issues that matter most to you. Call Jersey Central with Bert Barron now at 732-545-9282 or toll free at 888-545-9282. Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
8:50, we've got a couple minutes left with my special in-studio guest, keynote speaker, author, and mentor, Tom Gagliano, who was here. You can pick up his brand new book called Don't Put Your Crap in Your Kid's Diaper. I love that. The cleanup cost can last a lifetime, and it takes a serious look at parenting and the relationship between parents and kids. Definitely a must-read for parents and grandparents alike. Let's talk about societal changes, Tom. You know, we have a society now of working parents who are putting in these 10, 12, 14-hour marathon days, and kids, it seems like more than ever, are kind of left to their own devices. And there's nothing good about that.
No, no. One of the things that we see today is that, parents have to work more, and it's not wrong what they're doing. They're working to build a better home for their children or college or all of these positive reasons. But what we always have to remember is children are egocentric. At a very young age, all they see is how the world affects them. Now, when they got mom and dad working all the time, child's not going to say to themselves at a young age, oh, gee, mom and dad are working their butts off to help build a better home. A child says, what's the matter with me that mom and dad don't want to spend more time with me? Am I unlovable? And believe me, all children, whether you're born into a wealthy home, different religions, No matter what it is, children have that same egocentricity. That's why we have more of a bully situation today, because they're coming from healthier homes, bullies, homes where parents are working all the time. And the parents don't understand that the child is getting the message that why don't you spend more time with me? Now, Bert, what makes this worse is parents overindulge their children because they feel guilty. So, because they're not around their children, they buy them things.
Yeah.
They buy them video games. So, instead of teaching your children when you're sad, or when you want to talk about your feelings, come talk to me. They're telling them, go buy a video game. It'll medicate your feelings. And Bert, I always tell them, why don't you buy them a bottle of scotch?
Right.
I mean, that's what addiction is, medicating and changing your feelings.
Yeah.
So if you're going to constantly, when you feel bad, buy your children things, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I guess it's like, well, let's offset my absence as a parent. I'll give them stuff. Oh, here, I'll give them a nice new cell phone just so I feel like I did something for them, and that's a problem.
Very bad message. You have to teach your children, talk about your feelings. Don't medicate it by playing a video game if you're upset at something.
Yeah, talk about the concept of, and this was today was the first I'd heard of this term, of what's a helicopter parent. What is a helicopter parent?
Helicopter parent is a parent that rushes in to always fix their children's problems. I believe that we can't really control our children. We can teach them things, but eventually, if all our devices are control, they're going to get old enough. They're going to do whatever they want to do, not what we tell them to do. Instead, in my book, I try to teach parents the ways to supply their children with the tools to control their own behavior. Get your children to make healthy choices on their own. Now, if you're rushing all the time and try to fix your kids' problems, your child will not develop coping mechanisms. When they get older, they're not going to know how to cope, and they're going to be mad at the parent that always rushed in and fixed the problems. Instead, allow your children to get out of some of their own messes. Now, if your child is in impending danger, you need to rush in.
Oh, sure.
That's your job. I'm not talking about that. But let them first try to get out of their own messes sometimes. If they don't do their homework because they're too lazy, let them go in and tell the teacher, I didn't do my homework. Don't make excuses up and write notes and say, oh, he was tired, he was sick, I didn't get home in time. Let them become responsible.
Little Johnny's standing in the principal office because he said a bad word, and he's down in there, and he'll say, well, my mom is going to be here any minute, and she'll get me out of this. So when you hit
go.
a certain age, that doesn't happen anymore.
No,
So,
and when
right.
Johnny gets old enough to face life on life's terms, he's going to have a problem because life's not going to be like mommy and say, oh, it's okay, Johnny. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, yeah. One last thing I wanted to cover this morning, Tom, and this is pretty hotly contested when it comes to parents who have kids who get involved in different things, whether it's sports or whatever. Where a lot of times a child is rewarded just for showing up. Whether it's a soccer tournament and they're giving kids medals and trophies. Some people say it's not very healthy to reward a kid just for doing something. You don't really know what it is to win or lose because you're always getting, you got a trophy. What'd you do? Well, I kicked the ball and they gave me a trophy. That's it's very detrimental to the health of a kid.
Absolutely. First of all, if everybody gets a trophy, it rewards mediocrity, and the world's not like that. I mean, you get out in the world, unfortunately, there's winners and losers, no matter what you want to do. But here's the other thing. I firmly believe, and I put in my book, we need to celebrate our children's victories. What do I mean by that? When our child does something that they're proud of, I don't care if it's getting a C on a test. If they work hard and if they're proud, celebrate that. Don't go to the next dilemma. Take your child for a slice of pizza, an ice cream. Build that self-confidence, build that self-esteem. Even if you don't think it's a big deal, if they think it's a big deal, do it. And one thing I tell parents to be careful of, if you have a child that gets an A, don't in front of the other child say, I'm so proud you got an A, because that other child may not be able to get an A.
Yeah.
What you need to say is, I'm so proud of how hard you worked, because every child can work hard, but not all children can get A's.
So something as simple as, why can't you be more like your sister? A
Oh.
very negative effect.
Oh, well, you could do that, but you'll have a cleanup course later on in life. That's
and
right.
it could last a lifetime. Like your
Oh,
book
it sure
says.
will. And then parents wonder why Mary and Joe, brother and sisters, don't want to see each other when they get older.
Yeah.
And they say, why don't they want to see each other? Well, parents, early on, you created a competition between the children that they don't realize why they don't want to see each other, but there's something in their diaper.
That's right. Well, very good. Well, Tom, good to have you back here this morning. And one more time, where people can purchase your new book.
Yeah, they can go to my website, theproblemwasme.com, or they can go to thomasgagliano.com or at Amazon. Either one.
Very good. Tom, thanks again for being here, and great to always have you here. You provide a very good insight on parenting, and we'll do this again soon. And congratulations on the new book, by the way.
Thank you, Bert.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
my pleasure. Jersey Central traffic and weather time, 8:56. Traffic